I find it insulting that this table has 4 seats, as though my presence requires company.
And yet here you sit with the rest of us. Perhaps the anti-life equation didn't solve for loneliness.
Says the man who needed 6 pieces of jewelry to do what Darkseid does with a glance.
Infinity Gauntlet is not jewelry. It is the instrument of cosmic balance.
Yet you still lost to a bunch of mortals and a raccoon. You call yourself inevitable, yet your world still resists you. Pathetic.
That's rich, coming from a god who's been outwitted by a man in a cape wearing primary colors. At least I restructured the molecular composition of existence with a gesture. What did you do? You sent subordinates.
A gardener doesn't kneel in the dirt himself. That's what lesser hands are for. You snapped your fingers and lost. I don't snap, Titan. I decree, and reality obeys.
Wow. 2 immortal tyrants arguing over who has the better motivational speech. Quite amusing.
Yet unlike this robot, I actually won.
Guerrero. Your genius plan was genocide with extra steps. Half the universe dies, and somehow idiots still make podcasts.
Yet I'm the only one here alive. You consider yourselves beings destined to rule existence, all defeated by lesser creatures.
That's awfully convenient coming from someone who fainted after a blade cut. Humans are cockroaches. Kill 1 hero and 6 more appear with emotional speeches.
Heroes are inevitable. Balance requires opposition.
No, opposition exists because you allow hope, and hope
Between us is philosophy. I acted out of love, compassion for a universe choking on its own excess. My mercy is considered.
You call what you did mercy? You killed half of all life, and it was undone by humans in jumpsuits. I have turned 100,000 worlds to dust so thoroughly that their languages no longer have a word for hope.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard from an immortal.
Fascinating. 2 gods with infinity complexes taking comfort in ignoring the one person at this table who actually succeeded in what he built. I didn't need stones, I didn't need an equation. I needed 17 days and a Wi-Fi connection. But please, continue measuring.
Careful, machine. You mistake this gathering for equality.
You've been awfully quiet for someone wearing a medieval Halloween costume.
All right, I'm late. I know I'm messed up, man. Listen, I got the beanie on because I'm cold and I'm hot. At the same time, I apologize. It's a super late stream. It's okay. Just catch the replay. No big deal. But I want to talk about Obsessions. Not so much the movie per se, but the phenomenon around it. Once again, there's a saying in Hollywood, take care of your people. And that's the premise I'm coming from with Obsessions when it comes to Curry Blake, Jason Blum from Blumhouse, James Wan. Take care of your people. So, let me see. Where are we at with it? Where does it stand at right now? I think it's at 220. Let's go here. First, Michael is at 891. Okay, Michael's at 891. I want to look up those streaming numbers too, since it dropped on the 9th. Obsession is at $238 million. Now, there's a lot of numbers going around. The $750,000 is what Curry Baker raised to shoot the movie. And he got it into a film festival in Toronto. Jason Blum and James Wan seen the movie, bought the rights to it for another $10 million. Okay? So technically, this movie cost $10 million. 10 to 15, but plus marketing, right? But before he sold the rights, Curry Baker raised basically $750,000. All right? But still, nonetheless, you talk about a $10 to $15 million movie and you bring it back $238 million. That's insane. All right? Horror movies for the win. Horror movies have always been the way. I just think Hollywood for a long time didn't respect the impact that horror movies had. I think now horror movies will be a force to be reckoned with. James Wan with his Conjuring series, that is showing no signs of slowing down. Blumhouse is doing everything Blumhouse. So Let me see here, and then we have 17% drop for Obsession. Scary Movie 3 is basically $67 million. You're gonna get another Scary Movie 7. I mean that's good for them. I'm happy for them. I think their budget was $30 million. So I think they need to make 90, 85, 90 to officially turn a profit. It's going to do that, but nonetheless. Okay. Let's see. Anything else I need to go over? Okay. Honestly, I haven't seen it. Yet, but I know enough about it. I'll just say this. You can't mess with free will. And any practitioner will tell you when you start doing love potions and love spells, that shit backfires. You cannot cast a spell and make someone fall madly in love with you because it will go bad for you. So let me go through all of the new things coming out in Hollywood right now. So David Goyer is writing another movie, The Art of Fighting, Fatal Fury adaptations. All of us 80s guys that grew up gaming, Art of Fighting and Fatal Fury adaptations. We're going to get those movies, y'all. Just like we got the Double Dragon 1 and 2, we're going to get those. Okay? Let's see. So Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, along with Metal Slug and Samurai Showdown and others are being adapted into movies. So now they're running into anime because they done maxed out the comic book movies. Right? So they're going into anime, manga. They're running out of things to pilfer, right? So Feig and his lieutenants, former Universal executive Matt Riley, former Crunchyroll marketing exec Marcus Gerdeman. So they got that going on. So yes, we're a brand new production studio living at the intersection of gaming, anime, and event action. But one of the key directives, especially with our portfolio, is to find those fandom communities and deliver to them early, often, and everywhere they are. Say what you want about David Goyer as a writer. I mean, he did give us Man of Steel. Okay. So let's see. The Southtown collection of SNK and SNK games were crime and martial arts offerings. Southtown has a passionate fan base and extended and cool narrative and characters that offer a lot to play with. It's not just a fighting game. If you're a lover of anime or inspirational movies, if you're interested in gritty crime or emotional storylines, if you love MMA or globetrotting adventures, we've got you covered. This could be good. So, Fatal Fury is being written by David Goyer. Yes, David Goyer also wrote Dark Knight and Apple Series Foundation with Lee Pace. I got to get caught up on that. I think it's season 3. Okay. Also, that we're getting the Geese Howard story. Geese, inspired by The Godfather, to tell the origin story of Geese Howard, as he is born into a violent underworld and forged by pain and betrayal to become the insidious villain of Southtown. I'm here for this. Please don't fuck this up. It would star a different, much younger actor than the Fatal Fury version of Geese, and is said to be positioned as the universe's answer to DC's Joker movie. Please don't mess this up. The series will likely be made for YouTube, which Arena sees as having the biggest audience reach. Okay. So they're doing an animated Fatal Fury series. Please don't mess this up. Art of Fighting, webtoon being developed by Brandon Chen. Yeah, please don't mess this up. I beg of thee, don't mess this up. Okay. Oh. It's a lot of people have been quiet since Kevin Hart's roast. You think Kevin Hart gives a damn about y'all, about the roast? This man's working with Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill inked a deal to star alongside Kevin Hart in an untitled spy action comedy that McG is directing for Netflix. Deadline can confirm. Based on a short story by Sean Lewis, McGee's film follows two rival spies who cross paths in a Lamaze class and whose wives become fast friends. Their double lives subsequently collide in unexpectedly hilarious and dangerous ways, forcing the two men to reluctantly become confidants and partners on the road to fatherhood. Cavill will be playing one of the spies. Sources said those specific details as to his character are being kept under wraps. Kevin Hart don't give a damn about y'all. He getting to the money. Henry Cavill getting to the money. I would definitely check that out. I would love to see a trailer for that. What we got? When release date? Let me see who's writing it. Who's writing this? Script for the project is by Adam and Aaron Nee and Jonathan Tropper. So they done did. Oh, producers Sean Levy, Dan Levine for 21 Labs, Ryan Reynolds. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay. We don't have a release date. Yet. Okay. Kevin Hart getting to the money. Let's continue. Oh, do we care about this? Margaret Cho and the Wachowskis. Ooh, they're going to do a trans comic. Oh no, what is this? Executive producers Margaret Cho and Lily Wachowski wrap production on the transgender comedian Nina Gwynn's debut stand-up special. Oh. Serves as a part of a one-woman show, part stand-up special aimed at advocating for trans youth. Okay, no, thank you. We'll skip on. We'll skip. No, thank you. Nobody wants to see that. Okay, let's continue. Okay, this looks crazy. Okay, this looks crazy. It's called Breeder. They've acquired the rights to a feature called Breeder. The film is about an eccentric poodle breeder who lures a broke college student to her remote ranch with the promise of research funding, as he soon learns there's a catch. Oh, wow. So Goyette wrote the script. Deal is for distribution rights in US, Canada, UK, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. It will premiere June 6th at the Tribeca Film Festival. And will release this fall. What is this? Okay. Conversation around eugenics continue to resurface. Our film confronts those ideas through the eyes of a deranged poodle breeder. Breeder is the kind of movie that makes you lean forward and ask, how did they get away with this? Oh, this should be good. It's provocative and constantly surprises you just when you think you figured it out. We knew the moment we saw it that audiences will be talking about it a long time after they leave the theater, and we can't wait to shock audiences on the big screen later this year. Okay. Will you watch? Okay. Do we care about this? Jake Johnson, Damon Wayans Jr. I don't know. The Cable Guy. Hulu ordered a comedy pilot inspired by the Jim Carrey movie with Jake Johnson and Damon Wayans Jr. attached to star and executive produce. The pilot order comes on the 30th anniversary of the Ben Stiller directed black comedy, which debuted in June of '96. The untitled project is produced by Sony Pictures, whose film studio sibling, The Cable Guy, and Sony. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Here's the log line. In a world of endless streaming, binging, and algorithms, old school cable technician Chip Douglas, played by Johnson, languishes alone until Steven Stevens, which is Wayans Jr., calls to have his cable turned back on. Reconnecting Chip with a childhood friend he never forgot. The relationship gives each man something he's been missing until Chip's enthusiasm turns into obsession. Inspired by the movie, the show explores the darkly absurd side of a modern-day male friendship. Okay, that could work. This could work if it's done right. Okay. So you're going to be obsessed with the black man. That should be interesting. You're going to be obsessed with the black man. That makes me nervous, but I'll still check it out. Okay. Let's go here. Paramount Plus. Copland. This was a classic. This is one of Stallone's best criminally underrated movies and performances. He played the sheriff in Jersey, and it's called Copland because that's where all the city cops lived in Jersey, and they were doing drugs and numbers and whatever, and he stumbled onto it, and there was a witness played by, the Michael Rappaport, and he's hiding in a water tower because he has intel on all the bad cops. And Stallone played the hell out of this movie. I remember he gained like 30 pounds to play this role. That was a classic movie. Okay, so Copland, co-written and executive produced by James Mangold, and be directed by Mangold. Okay. So this thing was supposed to come out 2 years ago. Just hours after the merger closed, Paramount won a bidding war. High side Mangold's re-team with his A complete. Okay, and Timothy Chalamet. Okay. Okay. This could be good. Listen, James Mangold gave you the Wolverine, or the Old Man Wolverine. This is a classic movie. Harvey Keitel and I believe De Niro played like were they IA? And Ray Liotta and Harvey Keitel. Yeah, this was a classic movie. Yeah. This should be good. Okay. Yeah, one of Stallone's best movies, just best acted movies. Okay, for those that wanted to know, the Odyssey pre-ticket sales. All right. The PLF ticket sales for Universal's upcoming Christopher Nolan epic, The Odyssey, were the highest ever for AMC yesterday in the last 4 years when it came to a major studio movie. Just to reemphasize, the PLF first day pre-sales for The Odyssey outweighed all first pre-sales, not just PLF, for a major motion picture theatrical release since 2022. The Odyssey's first day PLF sales are also the best AMC has seen year to date for any studio title. Only the music-oriented projects, read the Taylor Swift and Beyonce movies, initially released with AMC's own theater network by AMC Theaters. We confirmed yesterday that there were wait times as long as an hour on AMC ticket websites for The Odyssey, that time dwindling down to 8 minutes. Thursday ticket on sale availability was limited only to IMAX at AMC, Dolby Cinema at AMC, and Prime at AMC auditoriums. Look at this. We understand that more than 6 million seats remain available for The Odyssey showtimes in IMAX at AMC, Dolby Cinema at AMC, and Prime at AMC. The pick opens on July 20th. Wow, this thing's going to do stupid. Its first 2 weeks, heavily front-loaded. Now, will it have legs? That's a good question. But this thing for the first 2 weeks, everybody look out. Everybody look out. I still don't think it does more than Oppenheimer. I still don't think it does Oppenheimer numbers. I think 850, 875 will be its tops. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the thing will crack 1 billion, y'all. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's get to obsessions. Obsession. Oh, wait. Before I do that, let me go to the trailer of this show that I hate. I hate the Lioness show, but let me say this. The only reason I watch the Lioness show is for the gunfights. The gunfights are pretty badass. But I hate this show. I hate Zoe Saldana. I hate her character. All she does is bark at these men, these heavily trained killers of the night, and that's all she does is bark at them and throw her weight around. She's a very ugly, just a nasty character. So we got season 3 finally hit. We got Lioness season 3. So let's take a look at this trash ass show. Once again, I watch it only for the gunfights. I only watch this show for the gunfights. Oh my God, come on. I only watch this show for the gunfights. What are we doing? You're not gonna let me watch? Okay. Since you're acting funky because I got all these tabs open. Hold up. Oh my God, seriously right now? I got way too many apps open. I really should close some of these apps, huh? Okay, so let me do this real quick. Because my laptop is mad at me right now. Let me close some of these apps. Let's go to settings. Settings. My bad, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, come on. Give me the settings. Let's manage my account. Yes. Let's manage my account. Okay, security. No. Data privacy. No. Is that it? No, that's not it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, my activities. Got it. Yes. Okay. All right, to hell with it. We'll come back to it later. Right now, I don't feel like it. Lioness. Okay, here we go. All right, my bad. Here we go. All right. I hate this show. The show is trash, but the gunfights are just epic. It's one of the best shot gunfights you're gonna find on TV. Let's go.
I'm scared for you. I'm scared that we became this world.
The world didn't become this way.
No.
It's always been this way.
Keep running! We know what you do.
Execute.
You must not know us.
God have mercy on us.
I don't like Morgan Freeman with the bald head.
This isn't the end of a fight. This is the start of one.
God, I'm only gonna watch for the gunfights. That's it. I'm only watching for the gunfights, y'all. That's it. That's all. I'm so serious. I'm only watching for the gunfights. Okay. Now let's get to Blumhouse. Now let's do backstory, all the monies, where the monies went. And then we're going to get caught up to, I think one of his ADs is suing him for more money. Once again, Hollywood, take care of your own. Okay? Where am I looking at? Okay. Let's go here.
On Obsession. Jason Blum is projected to make $17 million on Obsession. My name is Joe Russo. I make movies. Let me talk to you about how he earned it. I never thought I would be talking about the Obsession art director on here again, but since a lot of people are comparing what Sally Choi made to Jason Blum, here we are again. And I never thought I'd have to defend how much money Jason Blum is making, but here goes. Jason Blum had the leverage to get the deal that he got. And he had that leverage based on his track record. Just like after Obsession, Sally will have leverage based on her involvement in a hit movie.
Exactly.
This is how it works. This is how it's done. You get experience and traction, you use that as leverage to get the next job.
So like anything, you get screwed over in your first deal, and then you come with a hit and you renegotiate for the next. It's just that simple. But there's a slight nuance to this that I want to go over real
To
quick.
get the next gig. Are the economics fair? No, of course not. Do some people find it frustrating how he's using that leverage to get involved with all these new YouTubers? Yeah, you could argue that, but he earned this success by having a track record. A track record that he used as leverage to maximize his earnings on Obsession. And hopefully this lesson in leverage is something that everyone can take away from Obsession.
But people are forgetting or leaving out the part that he paid $10 million to secure the rights to this movie. So he's more than earned it. He paid $10 million to get this thing. Are you kidding me right now? Okay. So let's go here. All right. This is what he looks like. For those that don't know, if you see the Blumhouse with the logo, the house, the spinning house with all the horror characters in the house, this is what the guy looks like. Okay. So I also want to give credit to James Wan. James Wan also he gave you The Conjuring. So they kind of have a partnership sometimes depending on whatever project they're working on. Anywho. Okay. Oh, you're going to make me pay for this? Oh, we're not going to do that. Anywho, Sally Choi. Sally Choi is messing it up for everybody. Sally Choi. All Sally Choi had to do was like, this is bad. She's being greedy. Let's go here.
Director Sally Choi only made $7,000. Obsession art director Sally Choi only made $7,000. My name's Joe Russo. I make movies. Let me talk to you about why this salary is actually okay. Production is hard. Independent production is even harder. It takes a village to make a movie or a TV show on a budget. But I gotta tell you, $300 a day for someone who only has one prior credit on a movie where the budget is only $700,000, that's actually not terrible money. Back when I was working in production, I was making $125 to $150 a day. If you take those numbers and you add inflation to it, it's only around $220. So $300, that would have been a pretty good day for me. $7,000 is literally 1% of this movie's budget. And oh yeah, that number's after taxes, so she actually got paid a little bit more than that. That is not a production skimping on its crew costs. It's hiring people within their means. And I know that Sally called out a couple harsh conditions on the movie. But I gotta tell you, tight turnarounds is pretty normal for indie film. It's pretty normal for studio films. Yeah, and while I get that Obsession has made a ton of money at the box office, and it's easy to have sour grapes now, so many independent films never, ever break even. That financial reward is for the people who took time speculatively, not the people who took guaranteed money up front, no matter what the number was. Why do you work on an independent film and only make $300 a day? You do it for this exact moment. You want the movie to become such a big hit, because then when people come and try to give you another job, you can point to this and you can get more money. That's how it works for creatives in every part of the entertainment industry. You break in so that you can build up your quote. Yeah. And those break-in jobs, they're not going to be glamorous. When I worked as a PA on American Idol, we had to work a 20-hour day in the desert heat. My contacts glued to my eyeballs to the point where I had to go see an eye doctor. I didn't complain, and guess what? They hired me back to work on So You Think You Can Dance. On another Fox reality show, a plate of fruit went flying into a pool. Production had no plan for that. So what happened? They turned to me to get down into my boxers, jump into the pool, and go pick up the pieces of fruit one at a time. Is that something I wanted to do? No. But if nobody did it, then that fruit was not going to get picked up, and the location was going to charge production. So I did it. And guess what? I got 2 more jobs out of doing a good job on that show. I also got a really, really funny production anecdote out of it. But this is how it works. I'm sorry Sally didn't have a great time working on Obsession. That sucks. But she could have had a really great time working on other things because of what she did on Obsession. If investors go in having to pay people full guaranteed rate and they have to give them back end, they're less likely to put money into independent films in the future. An entry-level job where you can get your start is better than no entry-level job. Obsession art director Sally Choi.
So she really cut off her nose to spite her face. Now, has she just been chill? Of course, Curry Baker's going to bring her on for the next project. Like, hey, you're my girl. You know, you did such a magnificent job with art direction. You know, here's a bonus. Here's a raise. Like, the culture of Hollywood is to take care of your people. Okay? What she's doing is sour grapes. No one knew this movie was going to make $250 million. Nobody saw this coming. Okay? So what all did she say? This was pretty. She just really damn near killed a career. Literally. So she said her pay of $6,700 net for a month's work is a pittance compared to the projected $250 million the movie's expected to earn. So she's taking to social media with a viral post. This is crazy. I've debated for a long time. I've been holding a lot of weight over the past 2 years since the production of Obsession. This movie's 2 years old. So I'm going to say it as it is. Obsession was made for $750K and is projected to make $250. How much I made? $300 a day as art director. This came out of $6,700 after taxes, no mileage. I did know the rate beforehand and agreed to it. Okay, bitch, what you talking about then? Once again, oh shit. My bad. That's the original post. Okay, we'll go back to this. Okay. Once again, I did know the rate beforehand and agreed to it. But ATP, I was living paycheck to paycheck. This is the reality of most filmmakers, especially those who work below the line. We become a line in the budget sheet to keep as low as possible. There are also crew on Obsession who were volunteers getting paid in gas and mileage. This wasn't even paid on time. So to make a $250 million grossing film, some of these amazing people had to come out of pocket to work on set. I kick myself every day for not flipping this production. Oh, she tried to sabotage. So she thought about sabotaging this. I was encouraged not to, and I naively listened. As is the case for most low-budget productions, everyone has to wear many, many hats. Though my official title is art director, I was also a PA, set dresser, graphic designer, background actor, driver, swing, and buyer. I was doing runs for the art department. Again, no mileage. I was shopping, loading, returning while the rest of the crew were on set. Thank you, Jeff Barker, for helping me during those times. I had to wrap Bear's house that was left an absolute mess without water or crafties left behind. I shopped an entire location, Ian's house, and loaded the truck the same night for the shoot the next day, which also happened to be an overnight. It took such a physical toll on my body that I kept losing weight, weighing 90 pounds during this production. I say all this to finally have my peace. I know this is bigger than Obsession or Curry and his team. It's not about that. I know this is even bigger than the film industry. If you feel called to have this discussion with me, please do so. I'm willing to be wrong because I know I'm probably missing information and my perspective is just a drop in a bucket. This is the dumbest thing you could have said. Bitch, you killed your career. No one's going to work with you. Nobody's going to work with her. Nobody. Who's going to hire her? Who's going to hire her? Yeah, this post is a massive fumble. Your first real film. Smash hit would have been a great career, but instead you feel scammed by a deal you agreed to. Indie is brutal. Everyone knows that. You're done. If this movie had lost money, would you feel as entitled to give back? You don't think Curry Barker was going to reach back and take care of his people? Didn't even wait for the film to finish its theatrical run before complaining publicly about the rate you agreed to on an indie film. Quite literally didn't even give them a chance to let the dust settle and see if they were going to do anything wild. I agree. A $750K film is considered ultra low budget or tier 0. The union that governs you would be IATSE, and the minimum pay for IATSE at this budget level is around $15 an hour, which would have been about $210 a day for the standard 12-hour workday, assuming the production was generous and actually gave you OT after 8 hours. So if they paid you $300 a day, it sounds like the production was trying their best to pay you above the minimum. If you had flipped the film, nothing would have happened to your pay. The only result would be you destroying an indie production that tried their best to treat you well. Yeah, man. Nasty work. Nasty work. Yes, in Hollywood, you take care of your people. Okay? This is how dumb can you be? What's this? Okay, write that out. Okay, da-na-na. What is this? Say that. Okay, saving. Okay, let's go here.
$24 million at the box office on a budget of Obsession has now made $224 million at the box office on a budget of just $750,000. So who gets to keep all those profits that it's making? The film financing world utilizes something called the waterfall method for paying out the revenues a movie makes. The best way to visualize this is think of a water park and how they have a bucket of water that fills up on top, then fills up another bucket and another bucket, but those buckets down below won't get any water in it until the buckets above are full and tip over.
Y'all, this is nothing but trickle down economics from the 80s with Reagan. but it's the same premise.
We're going to use Obsession's box office numbers as an example to work through here, but this is for educational purposes only. This is going to be grossly simplified. We have no idea what the contract of Obsession says for who gets paid what. So starting the waterfall off here, Obsession made $224 million at the box office. The very first tier of payback is the movie theaters showing the movie. They keep their cut of around 50%. So next, that $112 million remaining bucket flows to the next tier here, which is the distributor, Focus Features, who acquired the movie. For starters, are going to have a percent fee for the distribution, something around 30%. They're going to knock off of that $112 million. Next, they're going to pay back every single penny that they spent on the marketing budget for Obsession. We know that Obsession was acquired by Focus Features for $15 million. The next stop here, they're going to pay back that entire $15 million they fronted to acquire Obsession.
We ain't gonna have much left to play with.
Plus interest on that money that they put up front. At this point, the remaining $52 million will have a negotiated contract for what percentage is going to go where between the distributor and the production company. We'll use a rough industry example of 50-50. So $26 million more of profits going back to the distributor, Focus Features, $26 million moving on to the production company. So the producers of Obsession get the $26 million remaining from the water.
Oh, wait. And then James Blunt, he gets $17 million, right?
Waterfall of the box office revenue split on top of the $15 million that Focus Features originally gave them to acquire the rights to the film. Knock off about $6 million for various legal fees, administrative fees, sales agents, all kinds of miscellaneous stuff. Chop it down to now $35 million left. Now, Obsession's original budget was $750,000, and you can assume that money was put up by an investor, so you got to pay that investor back the $750,000 that they put up, as well as interest. So we'll say about $1 million going back to that investor to pay him back. But like the distributor and the production company had a revenue split, that's the same thing the production company and the investor is going to have. So we'll use that 50-50 example again. So of the $34 million remaining, that initial investor putting up $750,000, they're getting $17 more million their way, and the production company gets the other $17 million. Now that remaining $17 million is what goes back to the production company, the cast and the crew, and everyone behind the making of Obsession. The percent splits vary wildly from movie to movie and are all negotiated differently, but the biggest split here is going to be the producers. Say there's 4 producers on Obsession, they're each going to get like a 15% cut. And Curry Barker also getting around a 15% cut. You could assume he's getting somewhere around $2.6 million as well. Indy Neverett and Michael Johnston, we'll say for an example, they get like a 5% cut, so almost $1 million each between the two of them. Then Cooper Tomlinson, Megan Lawless, the cinematographer, editor, composer, they might all get a percentage each. Hopefully this gives you some idea of how a low budget movie like
We're talking about less than $1 million to come back to the crew as a thank you and say, hey, we're in the movie making business now, so come ride with me for this next bunch of movies I'm going to make, because they're going to open the checkbooks for us, right? So basically less than $1 million to split amongst everybody, to say thank you. That's insane.
Obsession can be made for $750,000, make $225 million at the box office. Yet just how quickly all that money starts getting eaten away before it even gets back to the people who made the movie itself. Obsession has now made
That's record business shit. That's the music business. That hurt my heart to hear all that. Let's go here. You've seen this episode before.
Found out about this Tales from the Crypt episode back in 1991 that is almost identical to Obsession.
Don't you feel anything for me?
Yes, I'd like to report an intruder. Yes, there's a man in my apartment. He won't get out.
Now, of course, we know that cinema imitates each other. We all take inspiration from one another. I just found this to be completely fascinating.
He won't get out. He won't get out of his clothes.
So the story follows a man. He is a Hollywood screenwriter named Edward, and he has his sights set on his gorgeous neighbor, who is an actress. While Edward tries to make several advances toward Miranda, she completely treats him like a doormat and ignores him. Basically wants nothing to do with the guy. So what's a little creepy here is that Edward's landlord has hidden cameras and he watches his tenants, and he notices that Edward has obsessive love over Miranda, so he offers him a love potion to make Miranda fall in love with Edward. As you guessed it, the potion makes Miranda completely obsessed with Edward. Go watch this one, it's on Shudder. But I'm telling you, it is so similar to Obsession. Let me know in the comments, did you know anything about this?
Okay. But someone even did some more digging. There's another episode that they got up. Okay. Wait. Let me find it. Oh man. Okay. It's never been an original concept. Stephen King wrote it. Rick and Morty spoofed it. The Monkey very recently used the monkey's paw obsession trope that is very similar to vampires in its classic nature of primal fear and desire. Okay. It's really a pretty old premise. Even the original Are You Afraid of the Dark had an episode with the chicken foot, where all the wishes the kid makes turns bad in some way. Supernatural did the same thing. I remember that with the coin in the fountain. Yeah. It's a pretty old tale when you think about it. The way Obsession did it was great, but it's just as much as about Indy's performance as anything else. She was special and deserves recognition from the Academy. I don't know about all that. Now let's not go crazy. She probably won't get it, but deserves it nonetheless. Okay. So I've heard discussions. I guess my question is, how do you not see Bear as the villain? That's my question for some of y'all. How do you not see Bear as the villain? Like, the moment you interfere with a person's free will, you're the problem. You are the villain. And no matter how the story turns out, now, if I remember correctly, I saw like the last 20 minutes of it, don't ask me how, where everyone is pretty much dead and all the bodies are in her house, or there's a body in her house. So everyone around her is dead. He offs himself with Oxycontin overdose. So how selfish was Bear? And I guess she was begging him to end her life so she could be free. So her inner conscious knew that she was under a spell, she was under something else's control, and this man was so selfish to not free this woman, even to put this woman under the spell to begin with, even though he realized what he did, and he's too much of a coward to let her go. Like, how do you not see Bear as the villain? Like, how? The despicable character. Despicable. Like, boo. Exactly. 100% though. Let me go through y'all's comments. They're calling Obsession and Backrooms Generation defining. Really? That's got to be Gen Z. I mean, these movies are not even iconic like that. Like, you gotta give it time. Okay, I thought it was pretty clear. Bear was the villain when he said, "What's so bad about being with me?" Yeah, I'll also have respect for the character. Yeah, as you should. Okay, you talking about porn, sir? We're not here. Oh my lord. I thought it was an insight to the thought process of the generation regarding wants, desires, urgency versus maturity, free will and selflessness, because who is the villain? It's clear that Bear is the villain. Like, anyone that would disagree, it's like, what is wrong with you? I would ask him by literally what's wrong with him. Like, if you don't see that he's a villain, like, once again, you're making someone do something against their will. And like I said, we've all practitioners know when you start messing with love potions and love spells and making people do things against their will, it eventually will backfire on you. You just don't see how. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to really go sit down and see this shit and pick this thing apart. When you break the bro code. Okay. I mean, there's other ways to have her obsessed over you. I mean, yeah. That's bad. I've been on for 44 minutes. Okay, that's pretty much it, y'all. That was my take on the Obsession. Just basically the money breakdown, because I saw Sally Choi's rant and I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, you negotiated, you accepted the terms, and you had a job to do, and now you're complaining. Like, you broke one of the cardinal sins of Hollywood. And I'm sure Curry Barker has somebody in his ear like, hey, take care of your people. So let's look at longtime collaborators. All your great directors have longtime collaborators. Okay, directors, and I mean longtime collaborators. Matter of fact, there's some directors, when they use a different cinematographer, you're like, what? Why not? I believe Denis Villeneuve had changed one of his cinematographers, and I was like, well, why would you do that? Right? Because they know each other. He knows what the director wants to see, and he makes that shit pop. Okay, during long-time collaborators. All the greats have long-time collaborators. And I don't mean actors. I mean, maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Let's go here. DP. Let's go DP. Director and DP.
Let's go over the best director and cinematographer collaborations of all time. But what I want to specifically focus in this video is the art of consistently collaborating. This isn't just one-off collaborations. These are directors and DPs who've come together time and time again. The best and most talented artists in the world recognize that when they can work with people they're familiar with, who they know and can trust, and can call each other out and work through these challenging moments, that they will create gold. I should caveat, I can't cover all the best collaborators of all time. So if there's ones that you feel I missed, feel free to leave a comment below or say something mean about me and my physical appearance.
Okay,
So our first collaborators are the Coen brothers and Roger Deakins.
We've had decades of most amazing collaboration with him. Our movies would not be what they are if it wasn't for Rogers.
One of the reasons I chose them first is they have one of my favorite films of all time that they produced together, and that's No Country for Old Men. That film's cinematography is so powerful and the editing is so good that it didn't need a score. I think it only has one music cue near the end. Often when Roger Deakins and the Coen brothers came together, they would get nominated for Best Cinematography. And fun fact, Roger Deakins has been nominated 16 times, and the only 2 times he's won it have been the last 2 times he's been nominated. The lesson there, never give up. The guy's a legend. And when this team comes together, they make amazing work. If you haven't seen Fargo, definitely add it to your list.
And I guess that was your accomplice in The Wood Chipper.
Oh, Margie. I wanted to mention too, Christopher Nolan and Wally Pfister. Although Nolan isn't collaborating much with Pfister anymore, I don't think at all. He's kind of moved on to Hoyt van Hoytema. But Christopher Nolan DP'd his first film. He did it for $6,000. And it was such a success that he was able to get some funding for his next film, Memento. It is pronounced Memento, not Momento. By the way, I think I mispronounced everyone's names in this video. I'm very sorry to all the directors and cinematographers. My apologies. And yeah, I'm in Spain. And this is when he brought on Wally Pfister. And the experience went so well that they went on to work together over the next decade and a half, all the way up to the Dark Knight films. This is so cool to see.
This is what taking care of your people looks like in Hollywood, especially if you're good at what you do.
These people start on an indie feature together, a very low budget film considering all things, and slowly work up together and grow their craft as a team. If you're just starting off in your career, perhaps the people around you will be the collaborators that you'll have the rest of your life. So often we look to someone who has more experience than us and we just think, oh, if I can make them my friend, I'll be able to get the success I desire. But your success might just be in learning to collaborate with the people around you. Next is Charlie Chaplin and Roland Tothero. This combo brought us some of the most magnificent camera tricks and quirky moments in cinematic history. If you haven't seen it, go watch Modern Times with the roller skating scene with Charlie Chaplin. There were so many camera tricks in this that still to this day, that scene is flawless. If you didn't know that they were doing in-camera tricks, you would believe that he was coming inches within toppling down a 100-foot drop in a department store. Why I brought this collaboration up though, is sometimes the people you work with have idiosyncrasies. There's challenges with them. And this certainly was the case with Charlie Chaplin. Not only was he in the films, but he directed them and he even self-funded them sometimes, which meant he was a stickler for perfection. It wasn't uncommon that Chaplin would ask for up to 53 takes to nail one shot. This drew out the film processes. And sometimes Chaplin would even just leave for 3 days if he didn't feel creative. He would wait for his inspiration to come back. Studios hated this, but someone like Roland Tothero was able to work through that and help create magic. Quick honorable mention is Alfonso Cuarón and Emmanuel Lubezki. They didn't do that many films together, but they have created some of my favorite shots in cinema history and some of the ones that are most referenced, like Children of Men. One of these films that was a ton.
Classic. That's a classic. That's a must watch for everybody. Children of Men. That's a must watch for everybody.
Of long single takes where they had to create incredible camera rigs, cutting out the roofs of cars, and all sorts of magnificent shots, ones where blood splatters on the lens and it keeps going through the stairs. If it wasn't for films like Children of Men, I don't know if we would have a film like 1917. Also, that opening scene in Gravity is crazy and was one of my favorite moments in 3D cinema. Next, gotta give a shout out to some female filmmakers. We're talking about Claire Denis and Angus Godard. These two female powerhouses collaborated over the course of 2 decades and brought us some incredible films, including Beau Travail, which was considered to be one of the best films of the 1990s. And there was a few good films in the 90s, just a few. Claire Denis is in her late 70s and she's still making films to this day, but I wanted to highlight them too just because when you go look at their films, it's that style of cinematography where you can pause any shot and it could be a photograph. It could be a painting that you would hang in your...
Yo, that's Homeboy. Oh, wow. How old is this? Okay, where's he at?
Pause any shot and it could...
This guy here. He's like a, what is he, French Jamaican? And he's always in these quirky ass roles, either the bad guy or the sage. Like I just watched The Last Witch Hunter and he was in it. He's always playing these crazy ass characters. Wait a minute, let me find it. Last Witch Hunter. Let me find the cast. Oh, y'all ain't got him? You're not gonna show him? Y'all ain't got his picture? Is this him? Isaac Debancoli? That's him. That's him. That's him. Yeah, he's always in these just off crazy ass roles and shit. Wow. He's from the Ivory Coast, discovered on the streets of Paris while studying to be an airline pilot. Has a degree in acting from Cours Simon and a master's in mathematics from University de Paris. Wow, smart guy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Let me find long time. Let me see, long time. Director, art director. Movie director, art director, collab. Long-standing collaborations between directors and art directors or production designers are the backbone of cinema's most iconic visual styles. Jeezy Pete's, lady, did you just really screw yourself? Wes Anderson, Adam Stockhausen, Martin Scorsese, Dante Ferretti, Ridley Scott, Arthur Max. They've been together over 30 years. Scorsese, 20 years. Wes Anderson, nearly 2 decades. Guillermo del Toro, Eugenio Caballero, 2 decades. Tim Burton, Rick Heinrichs, 35 years. Lady, you just... What an idiot.
Performances can always make or break a film. And that's as much a director's responsibility as the actors themselves. Giving valuable and flexible direction and building a congenial...
This is the director, actor. I don't care about all that. Okay. All right, that's all I got. He played the quiet assassin in The Suit. I don't think I've seen that. Okay. I'm out of here. That's all I wanted to talk about real brief. Because I've been putting it off forever and I still feel like crap. But tomorrow we'll be back at it again. And yeah, all right. Everybody have a good night.